Righto, welcome to the blog for Thursday the 13th of September. So today, FOMC announcement, one of those 8 times in the year that we get FOMC, the most major announcement within these markets. They're just days that I just find myself just really wanting to avoid. It's almost basically an RDO for me. I'm always there with the trading room, but just very cautious and very reluctant to take any sort of trades. Can't remember taking a trade on FOMC day for a long time, let alone this particular week where it's very slow. So obviously no trades for the week even. Still got Friday, but I can't remember having a tradeless week. It's just been just one of those weeks where it's tight price action, obviously up until FOMC, and tight price action with very minimal key levels in the market. So for me personally and my particular trading method just adds to minimal setups, or this particular week no setups. But FOMC day is very difficult, and this is a real typical FOMC day. Very, very tight range and a crazy erratic markets in the afternoon. You can see even though it's pushed up, I've got the 1 minute chart here, it was really crazy price action, very, very dangerous. I didn't even draw in the pre-market range, like leading up to the opening of the day, just decided not even going to consider the setup even if it presented itself, because price action was just so tight. You could just see leading up to the opening that they just weren't going to get into a trend, or very, very probable that they weren't going to get into a trend. Everything was super. It's like in slow motion, really. So definitely not a day to be picking up on first trends, because it's just very unlikely to happen. The only time it's going to actually go is when we get this announcement, and like I said, it goes in one particular direction, comes back. It's very erratic behaviour. Something I am looking at doing for this, in regards to this first movement, what I've noticed with the first directional move of the day, many times the setups, but what I want to do is look for, and I'm talking specifically about the first trend of the day, what I call my directional breakout. I look for particular setups, but what I want to do is look for setups over the top of days, or high probable days of having a good trend. Some days we're really stuck within tight ranges. Some days we got really good trending markets, and what I'm doing at the moment is creating an indicator. Just going to call it something like what I call it, DRI, daily range indicator. Just where look at creating something, basically a bit of a formula where you can plug in the numbers and give myself like a bit of an indicator, like a number indicator, as the likelihood of getting what type of range for the day, and having it sort of based in groups, and going, once it gets under or over a certain number, then you've got a certain likelihood of a certain range within the day. So obviously when we're having these tight ranges at the moment, you sort of add it all up, it sticks within, you might average it over a certain amount of time, and it sticks within quite a tight range. Well, then that's not great days or high probable days for directional trades. Whereas other particular stages, the market's just going and getting some really good moves in the morning time. Well, then they're great days to apply a directional setup, and away you go. So anyway, that I was already thinking about that over the last couple of weeks or so. It's something I've got to put some time and effort into. But today's just a good example of, FOMC aside for a second. I guess the reason why tight price action was FOMC, but leading up till today, with really tight price action, just saying, well, even if the setups there, don't really want to be taking directional breakouts, because I just know it's not very likely to go. So that's even more reason to sort of apply some sort of indicator and going, okay, well, let's pick the right days, and then when we've got those right days, it might be half the days of the year, 3/4 of the days of the year, whatever. When you get an indicator saying, yep, we're over a certain figure today, likelihood of a certain it's probable to get a certain range, then let's go ahead and look for the directional breakout setup, or whatever indicator, whatever trade you look for. So that's a wrap up for Thursday, and back on Friday.